Welcome everybody to Whale of Sound, this time with one of the bands of my childhood or teenagehood that still is around, that still makes great music, and that has a new album out. So I'm very blessed to have Jason and Chris Cresswell from Hot Water Music around. So how are you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Well, apart from having caught the COVID, otherwise fine.
Oh no. Did you do which flavor did you get?
The drained one.
Ah,
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, man.
Nah, it's just the way it goes, right? After 2 years of escaping it, everybody had to catch it at a point.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So let's start off with a half funny, half serious question. Now, with three guitarists, are you like the Bad Religion of Gainesville?
I mean, I'll take that. I was predicting Iron Maiden, but I'll take Bad Religion also. Like that's fine. I was like, Maiden has 3 guitar players. Fuck yeah.
Bad Religion's the Iron Maiden of California.
See, that's true, and I think Maiden's a little closer because we have the guy that writes and doesn't tour. Although he doesn't run a multi-million-dollar label, he just kind of hangs.
I mean, he could still found one, right?
He could.
That's
he
true.
Could, any
That's
day.
true.
It's true.
There's still time. That is kind of the go-to frame of reference, though, with the whole scenario, right? Because I don't know. Some people are thinking like, oh, like I've never seen this happen before, and then we just say, Bad Religion. They say, yeah, it's happened before. It is essentially the same thing. Yeah. But for some reason, I think a lot of people forget that Brett Gurewitz is still in the band. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but when we use that as a frame of reference to explain the scenario, people are like, "Oh yeah, right." So
he's been in. I mean, there are definitely a lot of parallels to that for sure, all the way across the board.
Well, I mean, the fact that your band is like what, 15 years younger or so.
I mean, there is,
and you are still much more good looking, apart from Jay Bentley. I mean, like,
Jay is aging like a fine wine. He really is.
Jay Bentley is the Daniel Day-Lewis of punk rock.
That's a very. I would have said Nick Cave, but that's also a very nice comparison.
Beautiful.
So, now this is your first record as let's say a 5-piece. How does that feel by and large?
Awesome. It was. I mean, this is my favorite record we've done in a long time, and I know everyone always says that, but it's true. I know everyone says that also, but there's no way to win that interview question. Like, how do you feel about this record? This is my favorite record we've ever done. Well, you said that last time. Well, of course I said that last time.
If Chris said that, then that is really true.
You just use the soundbite from the last record cycle.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I really do feel that about this one, though. We checked a lot of boxes that I've been hoping we would check for a long time. Because it's easy to sort of, it's hard to take yourself outside of the band when you're in the band. And I think the circumstances of having Chris join and having Brian produce really helped. There was a lot of outside the band, and it helped push everyone not out of their comfort zones so much as back into their more widely open kind of creative zones that have always been there. So I'm pumped.
And what I like is that it's like a re-evolution, like there is something about the sound of a new record that of course takes everybody back to like No Division, A Flight and a Crash, and all the other amazing records that you did somewhere around the millennium. But it's also an obvious step forward in a way. Without, as I said, without giving in any of the Hot Water Music trademarks that we all come to love and share. Did it change the songwriting process in any way for you?
I mean, well, yeah, obviously there's more of us. So, I think that I mean, you have to factor in pandemic, remote writing, all that kind of stuff that everyone's been dealing with. But it's not really that different from how we've been doing things a little bit lately anyway. I mean, I think the big difference was that it changed I still think it's like not like you're saying it is a step forward, but by doing things a little bit more the way that we used to do, where it was much more of a it was much more of an idea based record rather than a song based record, I guess is sort of how to put it. It wasn't like there was a lot of like this 30 seconds is awesome, let's make this a song, instead of like this 2.5 minutes is a cool song, let's do whatever we do to it kind of thing. So there was a lot more I feel like kind of erector set Lego building of songs more than just like them dropping in. I also think every record's a little different in how you end up doing it, whether you know when you're doing it or not. So
would you say that it's a little more reflective in a way, or reflected?
I think so. I mean, if anything, I feel like we got everything out of our bag of tricks that we have and put it on the record, and then Chris has a whole different bag of tricks and we put those on the record too. So it's got it all. There's no way around that. It's not 12 of the same song, for sure.
Although I have to say that I don't hear, sorry to say it like that, Chris, but I don't hear that many Flatliners elements on the record. I mean, like, it's by and large, it is an awesome Hot Water record with a third guitarist and another voice, which is awesome.
That is, then that's a success to me, man. I mean, that's kind of what you want. Well, no, well, yeah, yes and no. I mean, there was a point in time where the idea, very early on, like way before the actual making the record came up, that the idea was floated to me that I could be involved, and it was a surreal scenario to even consider, and one that, I mean, part of me worried that if I was involved, that there would be a Flatliners sound to a song or an idea that I brought, that was definitely on my mind. And I'm glad to hear that didn't really compute, because this band has such a strong legacy and such an amazing catalog of music that, just like you, like I have been a fan of for a very long time before I got to be involved. And to come to it, to come to the table from a place of just ultimate respect, is in execution of these ideas. Like, you don't want it to sound like a whole other world, and I wouldn't have wanted it to sound like a flat song played by Hot Water Music. I want it to sound like a Hot Water Music song played by Hot Water Music. So that is a very nice thing you just said to me. Thank you very much for saying that. That puts my mind at ease a little bit, because it's I have a different bag of tricks than Jason, than Chris, than Chuck, than George, all of us do, than Brian. But I think part of it is that I found, at least with making this record, being a part of making this record is just kind of chameleoning your way in there, for myself, just knowing what I really love about this band and about these songs, the songs from older records and the new songs that we were working on, and just trying to find a way in however it is in my control, and each guy I know is thinking however it is in their control, to just bring your best ideas forward. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, a record that is released, this year by a band is going to sound different than the record, than the next record released by the same band, or the previous record released by the same band. It's always just kind of like a snapshot of time, and processes evolve and all this kind of stuff. And I think that in the end, I don't know, everyone kind of touched everything, which was really cool, So we did have an interesting conversation. Like, once we got physically in the studio all together, we're like, all right, so how are we going to figure out this 3 guitar thing? Because until that point in time, we were trying to avoid overthinking it. We were just writing, and then we got to the point of being in the studio and thinking like, all right, now we got to figure it out. And it wasn't that hard to figure out. So it was nice that everything was, exactly. Everything kind of at that point came together nicely. Yeah.
So I would like to talk about something that I noticed throughout the years with basically every Hot Water record. You're like a slogan band, right? Because I have several of my friends that have a line of one of your lyrics accrued, tattooed somewhere on their body. And most of those people would say that your band has helped them through dark times. Um, I'm very sure that that is a blessing, to have people do that with your music. But is it also some kind of pressure?
I mean,
like a responsibility not to fuck up.
I don't ever. I wake up every day feeling that way about everything. So, like, yes and no. I mean, there's part of it. This is kind of an interesting thing that I ended up talking about last night with someone on an interview. Like, that is totally a responsibility of the band to some extent, but it's also like I personally, as the guy that doesn't write lyrics, kind of feel like you can't put that on the band. Like, whatever you take from the band as a fan is what you take from the band, and that's awesome, and you can get whatever you want, but like, we're just people, and it's so we try to we just try to be good people and make good songs, and it's like, if we fucking miss the slogan on a weird Thursday, then whatever. I don't, it's kind of like there's only so much you can do, I think also sort of by design, as much of a like you said, like, get the shit tattooed on body band that we are, we also try to always make those slogans be very open to interpretation and very, like, hopefully inclusive for everyone, and not like a really narrow point of view about a particular subject or anything like that. I mean,
which is interesting because Chris, you first.
Oh no, I was just saying I would like to think that we, that is by design, because we don't particularly want to tell any. I mean, there are definitely. It's such a sticky subject, Jesus Christ. Leaving it vague and open to the person's interpretation is what we like to do, because that's what's going to happen anyway. Yeah. So
that is also interesting, because like one of the lines on the new album that stuck out to me as one of those tattooable slogans is the beginning of Habitual, where we hear the first line is basically, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in doubt. And I mean, like, I know it has a very, very personal background, and Chris Chris or Chuck, one of them, I don't remember, is singing against like cancer as a disease.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it also has like that second dimension, like of you don't want to spend your life doubting yourself, right? So I like the ambiguity behind it. And what I also think is that, I don't know, but for a lot of people, going to a Hot Water music concert is like, it's like therapy, right? Is that in some way the same for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think playing is sort of, for most people. Well, I mean, I can't even say that. For me, like, playing is sort of like it's the end game to all of this, like this interview and making the record and designing a fucking t-shirt and getting on a plane with that. All the other shit that comes with being in a band, like, show's the cool part, right? So it, like, it definitely is therapy, probably in a much different way for us. I mean, it's different for each one of us playing, even from each other.
Yeah.
And definitely different from the people going to the show. I mean, I definitely feel like that has sort of become a thing. And that's cool. Like, it makes me uncomfortable, but that's just my personality. So, I'm super happy that I don't write the lyrics and no one wants to talk to me about them. Like, I'm going to accept that role with a smile and move forward with it.
Right.
But I appreciate that people can get that much out of the band. I think that's awesome. If helping anyone at all is always a good thing.
Although I think, therapy always has that, at least in Germany still, that kind of like a negative sound to it. Like, concerts of yours are basically not like group therapy, but it's like It's like a meet your best new friend event, because I remember every concert that I went to of yours, at the end, I was hugging somebody that I hadn't known before. And with most of those people, I sang along to all the lyrics and all the songs that you performed on stage. And with most of them, I'm still close friends. So that's also something very interesting that your concerts end up being, right?
That is
that
awesome.
moment that people meet
that is very cool.
without having known each other before.
I think that's great. And that is awesome. And I hope that that's a positive, to counter the negative of therapy still having a negative connotation. I mean, it does here too. I go to therapy. I don't subscribe. I have a hard time dealing with the negative connotation to therapy. Yeah. As a person, I think,
which is a stupid negative connotation.
Yeah, it's like, geez, some caveman shit. But that is rad that you keep meeting friends at all of our shows. I mean, we've I pretty much met everyone in my life at our shows too. So I feel you. I know where you're coming from.
Before we end this, I always have like a few quickfire questions, and I would like each of you to make a choice between the two alternatives. I'll give you a few questions with two alternatives. And you choose Dag Nasty or Bad Religion, to come back to it.
Oh man, shit. Dag with Sean singing, I think probably, yeah.
I'm going Bad Religion on that one.
And Jason's going Dag Nasty?
With Sean singing.
Okay.
So that's kind of my caveat to that, because then I can get Baker's rad guitar playing and the Dag songs, but I can still get a little bit of Swizz involved as well with Sean singing. So I feel like I'm getting a twofer on that one.
Damn, all right.
Bad Brains or Minor Threat?
Bad Brains, no question.
Ooh, Bad Brains. Yeah, Bad Brains.
Mm-hmm. I have to ask that question because we asked Nathan from Boy Sets Fire the same question a few months ago. So I have to see what your answer will be. When playing in Germany, you can only play one show, Wiesbaden or Cologne.
Fuck.
That's what he said too.
Oh,
where are you
God.
from?
I won't tell you before you answer.
Ich
kann das auf Deutsch sagen, vielleicht hilft dir das dann.
Is there a venue preference, or is it just city preference?
No, it's just about the crowds.
Fuck. I don't know.
Chris.
I mean, I gotta just go off my own personal experience and let the record show that a lot of my personal experience predates my involvement with Hollander music. So if this isn't supposed to cast any negative kind of light on the band. This is just me. I have a lot more experience in Cologne. I'm going Cologne on this one.
Jason, what do you
feels like the wrong choice. Given the way
no, it's not the wrong choice. I'm going to go Wiesbaden based solely on the Schlachtoff and just having a rad time and like a pretty cool history with the people that work there as far as like just having played there a lot of times. But I mean, we just played the Palladium and it was sick.
I knew I fucked up.
You didn't fuck up because I like Cologne better as a city.
That's a good answer.
Because Wiesbaden's like just, you know what's great about Wiesbaden? The Schlachtoff's awesome and it's 45 minutes from the airport. So it's like if it's a last show, you can like crush it and get to the plane.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
You know,
I've only ever played there one time.
Well, you will.
And it was ours. It was
twice, right?
Yes, I'm excited. It was the second show I ever played in Europe was there. It was a long time ago, and then but Cologne has always just been just a beautiful place to me.
Yeah, I love Cologne.
So your upcoming tour with Boy Sets Fire and Sam I Am, is it more of a class reunion or punk rock dads united?
I mean,
parent-teacher interview.
That's a tough one. I mean, I guess kind of a class reunion. We haven't done a ton of shows with Boy Sets Fire over the years, even though we kind of came up at the same time.
Yeah, now you even get Sam I Am to play along as well.
I know, right? But I mean, they're like, that's like, I mean, that's the generation before. I mean, I grew up listening to them, so it's like, I don't know. It's just a bunch of old fucking white guys going on tour, basically. I don't really like it's pretty much what it is, minus him. Like, you know, old and older white dudes coming to Europe. Like,
old and older.
By the way, can we expect anything special for the tour?
I mean, I think we'll probably
like
end
a
up doing
special
something.
jump off by Muff Potter on Wiesbaden.
Oh shit! I don't think that. I mean, I think we'll probably end up doing some kind of like something cool between all the bands live or some. I mean, we're just on tour for too long and to not get up to something like that. But I don't think there's going to be any special guests. I mean, maybe shit. I don't know. It's so far away. I can't even. I'm just trying to get through my Wednesday. October is a whole other world to me right now.
Today's Wednesday.
Skating,
yeah.
Skating or surfing, guys?
Skating for me.
Neither? Can I choose?
Neither is fine.
It's fair. That's a fair answer. Be you, man.
That's a fair answer. So last two, and of course I have to get that question out. Favorite song by Sam I Am?
Damn. Hold on. Now you're making me go to the internet because I don't know song names except for the ones I have to know.
Song names suck, right?
They do, man. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how people in bands, like it's pretty ironic that we're both bad with song titles, and I'm pretty bad with lyrics too.
We'll see about that.
Oh, yeah. Only know the ones you need to. Like,
pretty much. Yeah, I only have so much room in my brain. I don't know. This is a hard
being
question.
Eddie Vedder and going through basically your whole catalog on every tour.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll take Eddie Vedder's paycheck to go through my whole catalog on every tour.
Yeah, who would?
Plus, we have to almost go through our whole catalog on every tour now too, so I'm feeling all right about that. Shit, man, I don't know.
Well, I mean, give you my choice. My choice is Dull.
Dull's really great. I mean, that's
Dull
definitely that is I feel like Astray is a very underrated record by them.
Definitely.
I'm probably gonna have to go with Don't Break Me, just on nostalgia alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I came up later, and I would be remiss if I didn't admit that my first encounter with them was You're Freaking Me Out. Just because I'm a little younger.
It's a sick record, though.
I mean, the first song I ever heard from them is God damn it, track 2.
She Found You. I'm looking at
She Found You. Thank you. Yeah. Like
that's a good one.
So it's a great one. So if I'm going pure nostalgia, that's my nostalgia pick. Okay. Yeah.
And favorite Boys That's Fire song.
Jesus.
Because then we can tell the guys what to play on tour.
Right.
That's a tough one too. I'm definitely gonna have to look that up because now you're really getting into my song name. I mean, Rookie Rules. Like that's
that song's
kind
great.
of everyone's favorite song, but it's like there's one of those songs when everyone likes it. There's a reason for it.
That's true.
I feel like that it's a little bit of nostalgia with that one too, for sure.
Yeah, I'm going same on that one.
Okay, with Rookie.
Yeah.
Okay, mine would be also because of personal reasons. It would be Walk Astray, but because it's the first Boys That's Fire track that my daughter knew by heart and that she can.
Oh, that's cool. Right on.
Cool.
And she knew how to sing the opening to that song when she was 5, and I'm still proud of that.
Cool.
Definitely.
So,
that's great,
guys. We're really looking forward to those shows. We're all very happy that you're back, and we hope you have a great time on stage. We are having a great time listening to all the new songs, and we'll also get prepared for the lyrics of the old stuff out of nostalgia. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. You too.